record and be able to be ported in real fast. So follow along if you can, and I'll start off by just copying this and just dropping it on in here. And I should be recording now. Am I recording? I'm recording. Cool, sweet. All right, sweet. I'll just paste this in here. There it is. And I've got this set to be about, let's think here, this artboard here, or this page here is not very big. It's 560 by 315, and it's at 72 pixels per inch. So, you know, whatever size you'd like, you can. One thing that you'll notice, there's several things that are kind of common to this, and that's the sort of NPC face, the sort of kind of round face with pretty simple features here. So, as you know, start with an oval, right, and then have a couple of little ovals for eyes as well, right? So I'll just draw a little tiny oval here, and I'll darken it up slightly just so we can kind of tell the difference, and we can establish our colors later on. And I'll just sort of drag this over. And then we've got this, you know, we've got our eyes here, you know, have them hang out. If you've taken any art classes and you know something about drawing faces, then you know the idea is like the eyes and the ears are like about even. Like if you look at your eyebrows, they tend to balance right next to your ears. So if we're gonna have an ear, we'll just do another little circle here. We'll just have this little curve of ear just kind of hanging out right there. Kind of line that up with the eyes. Obviously, we're not doing, you know, a still life. I'll just put this together, and we'll just create a path. We'll use the pen for the nose, just a real simple angle nose. And again, if you were to say, for instance, press Enter to dismiss the pen tool and just add a stroke. We'll take off the fill too, and we'll just add a stroke. That would be like 2. Let's look here. How does that look? Uh-oh. Oh no. All right. Okay, so with that being said, I'll just make sure this has a, you know, rounded join and a rounded cap as well. Try that again. What's happening here? Oh, here we go. We have to make sure it sits on the middle, so make sure the position is on the center. That way, yeah, you have all that. And I won't have this be straight black. I'll have it be just probably the same color as my eyes here. So whatever you've got going on there. And then you can either have them be smiling, have them be frowning, have a big open mouth grin, whatever you want. I'll just have them be smiling. Because again, this is something, you know, pleasant to look at. Something, you know, pleasant to look at. And then instantly forgettable is the name of the game here. Because we're just looking to have a message being put in. So we'll just click on this. All right, and then make sure this is set to be rounded on the edges there. All right, there you go. Okay, so simple, like, you know, forgettable face. All right. And then as far as the neck goes, again, you know, basic art 101. If you put your hands on your cheeks and you kind of like pull your hands down, your neck is just about the same width as your face. It's not like a little stalk here. So this is not necessarily, you know, some of them don't even have a neck, these guys here. So I'll just kind of pull this down, make it a little bit wider, a little wider than you might think, right? And we'll just round this out here at the base. Let me just real quick convert this to a path. D on the keyboard to collect these two corners and just round this out slightly. Not that much. Here we go. That's good. Oops. Cool. All right, and I'll just take my. Okay, I see. I keep hitting a key on the keyboard that brings that up. So gotta be careful with that. Combine these, convert this to a path, and Control Shift down. Cool. All right, you know. All right, so now's the time. I think I might choose my face colors and stuff. So I'll keep it the same dark gray for all the line work. But I'll go back over here to my, guy here, and I'll just make his skin blue, say, for instance. That obviously you can make it any color you like. I like to grab it, click on our little swatch here, and then paste it right here into the hex value. And this might need to be a little bit darker. I won't make it straight black, but I will make it pretty dark. Whoops. Take the fill off for these guys, and same color there. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, so as far as the hair goes, okay, so let's, hair can be just pretty simple blob of color there. If you want to get real detailed into it, you can. I'll just grab my pen tool here. I'll just draw a real quick sweep around the top of his head. You know, maybe like give a little crown of hair here, and I'll have it kind of poof out here, because this is we'll put the what do you call it? A headband on later. And we'll just Control Shift down to put that at the bottom. I'll take off the stroke, and I'll make the fill another one of my colors that I have ever saved over here. So maybe I'll make it orange. So these tend to be pretty androgynous. Now they do put little, you know, physical cues to, you know, distinguish between the genders, but obviously whatever you got going on here, just get rid of that. Okay, so as far as the sweatband goes, I think this should be pretty simple. I might actually put another little shape here for the hair above his head. I'll just give him a little kind of a, maybe even you can just flatten on his head here. D on the keyboard. I'll just take this and I'll just flatten it down some. Okay, neat. All right, so as far as the sweatband goes, I'll just grab my little rectangle tool here. Just draw a little rectangle going across his head, like so. And I could just bend this up some. Let's convert this to a path. I can get my angle tool, I think. Oh. There we go. Just draw that up a little bit. Draw this up a little bit too. And we'll just Control C, Control V, and just drag this down some. And we'll do that one more time here. So we'll just put in a couple of colors here. We just fill this up with something random. How about this? So let's go over here to this, and we'll just grab a hold of this guy, and we can kind of have his whole outfit be a little colorful here. So I'll just grab this guy, fill that up with that color. And then from here, we can just Control C, Control V, and just intersect these two. And just change this slightly. And then convert this to a path. Control C, Control V. I'll drag this down. So I've made 2 copies of this now, right? So if you click on both of these, you can see I've got 2 copies of this. That way I can just sort of intersect these two, convert this to a path, and just sample this color over here to give me this little headband here. Okay, so now I got this little headband for the guy. Cool. You know, just real quick, yank this down some more just to have it go. Okay, cool. All right. I want to avoid tangents, so I'll just pull this out slightly. Hopefully, you want, like, you know, lines just sort of touching. If they're gonna cross, have them cross. If they're not gonna cross, then just don't have them just tangents there. All right. So as far as his shirt, I just the thing about these guys is that they tend to have pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty disproportionate. There's not a whole lot of stuff you know, meant to pull towards proportions and stuff. So if you don't get his arms quite right, don't worry about it. I am gonna take my page up a little bit here. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger, just because if I were to, say, for instance, shrink this guy down, he would then be all the strokes would be off. So I don't want to worry about that. But I'm just gonna real quick grab my pen tool, and I'm just gonna draw his sleeves and shoulders, and I'm gonna be really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just be real. So sleeves, shoulders, sleeves. So just sort of round that out, round round this out right here. And then, boom. Okay, cool. And then D on the keyboard here. I might pull this up a little bit. Pull this up too. Control Shift down. And I'll just color this. I'll take out the stroke and I'll make this a different color. Maybe I'll make it, let's go over here. How about this yellow color? Oops. There we go. Cool, you know, maybe I'll pull this in some, pull all this stuff, pull this in a little bit. Or just leave it out. I'll just make it all outsized. Because again, like the small head, big body is kind of a theme you'll see running around with those. As far as his the rest of his shirt goes, I could just sort of pull that in down here. I'll just let's make it a little shape here. I can just pull this down like so, and we'll do some, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll do some stuff to differentiate these two shapes, and I'll just take out this, and I'll sample this right here. Make sure this is down at the bottom, and as far as the sleeves go, we'll delineate those later on here. Okay, so as far as the arms, let's real quick kind of give ourselves a kind of a destination to go towards. So I'll have his arms, I'll have his hands be kind of hanging out here. I'm not going to make anything super complicated with his hands. I'm just going to make a couple of like just ellipses here. So like one here, and then one here. You know, one over the other. I don't know if anyone here is a tennis whiz, but I'm not sure if this is quite the standard grip. That's all good. So we'll just sample his face for this right here. I might actually just darken one of these. I'll just darken this slightly just to differentiate those hands. And then as far as the tennis racket goes, we can just you know, we can do a couple of things for the tennis racket. I'll make a big oval, and I could just go over here to modify path. Actually, just Control C, Control V, Control C. Modify path. Oh no, I don't want to do all that. I'll just take out the stroke, take out the fill, add a border. Again, make it the same grayish color here. Pull that up some. Okay, there's that. And we can have it look like that. Or we can shrink it down. It's up to you. Then from there, I'll grab my pen tool, and I'll just click and drag here to create my little racket handle. Let's put this in the center again, and we'll drag this down slightly just to fit this in. There we go. All right, so that's good. Let's maybe round this off some. Transform, here we go. Oops. Control C, Control V. Transform, flip it horizontal or vertical here. Just drag this out, match this up. Match this around. Okay, cool. And we can just add a little rectangle here. Maybe even color this like the same little gray there, just to keep this palette limited. I'll corner this out just slightly. And we can just grab this guy, bring it to the top. There we go. So now we're grabbing this, grab this little racket. Okay, cool. There he's got this little racket in his hands. Again, this is just really simplistic, flat design stuff. We're going to add shadows in towards the end here. Last couple things we'll do. We could just add his legs here. If you recall, if you look at the sort of, you know, overall size here, you've got, you know, a couple different things. You've either got just like tree trunk, same width legs, or you've got these, you know, really tapering things. It's up to you ultimately what you do. What I'll probably do is draw 2 different shapes for the legs, and we'll have, let's think, we'll have them wearing shorts. Let me just get my pen tool here. I'll just draw one kind of going forward. One going straight, sort of straight down here. Like so. Pull that down. Obviously you think about how you want that to look. I just move all this stuff up to the corner here. And we'll just fill this in with another one of our colors. What haven't we used here? How about this orange? No, we'll use the orange for the hair. That's okay. We could just drag down the border and paste this in. All right, that's kind of cool. All right, so let's we'll do the arms real quick. All right, so the arms. So once again, we've got our sleeves here. We can just drag our arms. The arms can be just like kind of spaghetti little arms, like little rubber hose kind of arms. So I'll just drag this up, connect it to the wrist up here, like that. And we can color this the same color as our face, and just pull this down some. Okay, one more. Nope. Ah, I see. Okay, we got a bit of a conflict here. We can get back to that later. All right, D on the keyboard here. I'll just drag these closer here. There's that. And what if I were to just pull this, take this guy here? What we can do, we can do some cutting here. So, you know, these little shape building tools that we use, you know, they're useful for like little moments like this, little problem solving moments like this, where I want this little arm to be, you know, visible, you know, over this sleeve, but I also want it to kind of like hide underneath this sleeve over there. So probably the easiest thing to do would just be to like have this go up towards the top. Not this towards the top. Have this go up towards the top here. And so now this is on the top layer. And then just Control C, Control V this guy. Put this on the top. Shift Control this guy. And then just kind of subtract this. Actually, no, we don't want to subtract this. We can, so this is the copy I've got going on here. So I can just D on the keyboard. I can just grab these guys here. And I can just get rid of this. Obviously, if you have a better way of doing this, that's fantastic. And we could just kind of either leave that hanging out there, or we could just kind of cut these out. So subtract this. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, let me just double check. Where is this thing? This is on the very, very bottom. I don't know if I want it at the very, very bottom. Okay, cool. All right, so second arm here. We'll just do the same thing. We'll just make a little kind of rubber hose look shape here. Just pull it down. Pull it up, pull it down, pull it up, close it out here, fill it with this darker blue, nope, fill with the darker blue, and pull it down to the bottom. All right, just hanging it there. All right, there we go. Okay, and then we'll do the legs last here, or the legs, not legs last, but we'll do the legs next. And you can make them long, you can make them short, you can make them rubbery, you can make them sort of straight. It's up to you. I'll make them rubbery here. I'll just do it like this. Okay, control down. And I'll just have this one going straight down like this. All right, so as far as the shoes go, we could just make something, just a real basic shape for the shoes. We can make it the same color as the shirt here. Be pretty easy. So for the shoe over here, let's just kind of pull a little like cuff for the shoe, and then just have it go straight across, pointing that way. Color it, say the same color as the shirt, and then we can do the same thing here. instead of having it pointing that way, we can have it point like towards the towards the viewer, towards the person looking at this. What kind of sit there? There you go. Right. So again, kind of look like it's foreshortening that, and then fill like that, and take out the stroke here, take out the stroke there. Okay, so basic shapes here, right? So you know, you might go through and you might say, I don't really like the way that these shorts look. Maybe I'll just like have it go like this way, and I'll, you know, pull the shorts up or pull the shorts, you know, kind of curve the shorts down over the leg, like so, right? Whatever you want to do. Put a little, you know, gosset for the shorts here. Corner that slightly. Okay, maybe. And then let's think about let's think about shadows here, right? So I'm going to do just a couple of basic shadow shapes here, and I'm going to be using the shape building tools when I do it. So I'm going to start off by sort of pulling, you know, kind of getting close to the guy's chin here, right? So I'll just kind of pull over this way, make a little shape, kind of going around where I think the chin might be, make this little kind of blobbish shape here down towards the neck, and I'll just make this shape hang out below his chin, right? So now it's kind of differentiating his chin from his neck. Make sure that's at the top. I'll just, doesn't matter what color you make it as, because it's gonna like reflect the color of this guy here. I'll Control C, Control V, this guy's head, and then what we'll do is we'll just select both of these and we'll intersect them, and then we can convert this to a path if it's allowing me to. All right, I'll just darken this up slightly. There we go. And so now we've got this little shadow under his chin. So it adds a good deal of depth, right? So the same thing can happen to the various other parts here. So for instance, right here for this for the sleeves, maybe I'll so this thing here looks like the light's kind of coming straight down, so we can have a couple of shadows sort of like just kind of going straight down. Maybe it's coming from his face, so we can put a little shadow beneath the sleeve here. Let me just real quick. We got going on here, compound shape. You go to modify, path, convert to path. Have this guy right here. How do I want to do this? What I'll do is I'll just add a little shape right here. So P on the keyboard here, and then just I keep hitting this. I think the letter B does something here. Just make a little rounded shape kind of hanging out there. Grab this guy, Control C, Control V. Intersect this. And just darken this up slightly here. Same thing can go right here. Maybe I'll add just a little shape kind of hanging out right like that. Just put that there. Well, no, I don't like that. This looks more like he's got sort of a sweat stain there. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I could just grab this guy and kind of extend this guy out some, and then put it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'll just put this around some sort of shadow shape. Hang out here. Get rid of this. How would I play this? I'll just put it like so. Oops. I'll have it go from here down below his sleeve. And I'll just be sort of a random little rectangle shadowy area stuff there. There we go. Pulls that forward. Okay. There we go. And same deal here, just a little shadow on the shorts. On the keyboard, Control C, Control V. Always want to duplicate these shapes, and then intersect is the easiest way of having this be a simple little shadow here. Here's that. Same thing over here. Control C, Control V. Grab this, intersect, darken this up a little bit. I can even just sample this color just so it's all consistent. Okay, so we can maybe do one more big shadow here across the bottom of the shirt. Just round that off. Like so. Grab this little rectangle shape here, Control C, Control V. Let's make sure this is on the top here. And we'll intersect these. And drop this down a little bit. We can even just like sample these shadows right here. Cool. All right, neat. So maybe one more across the arm. Let's do one more little shadow here. Let's have fun. All right, cool. Let's real quick copy the arm. Control C, Control V. And then we'll intersect this. And just use this color here as the shadow. All right, neat. Cool, I like that. Okay, so we could just pull this here, and hey, why not even just add a little tennis ball flying at his face here. We'll just make this sort of, make it green. Tennis ball green here. It's more yellowish, isn't it? There we go. And you could even add a couple of little lines here to make it look like it's going real fast. So just whoosh. There we go. Cool. I like this. This little simple, guy playing tennis. Take the ball in, put the ball out. I don't know. So the idea here is that we're just trying to copy this style that we're seeing out there because apparently it's in demand. People like it, right? And so that's the big idea here. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this here. Just export this as a JPEG here. So export JPEG. I'll call it big tech corporate art last name one last name. So we'll do 2 more of these. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the OBS here.